Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing some Dassari FKM rubber watch straps. All these straps are available from StrapsCo.com for the same price, $34.99 US including shipping, and they also include a 30-day return policy. All the straps are available in four versions: 18mm, 20mm, 22mm and 24mm respectively. They're all made from fluorocarbon rubber, and I will explain what the benefit of that is. So firstly, let's look at the Dassari Smooth FKM rubber strap. So as the name suggests, the Dassari FKM Smooth strap is smooth on the top side, but on the underside it is textured with grooves, as you can see. The purpose of the grooves is to allow air under the strap, and it also allows sweat and perspiration to wick away from the wrist in hot weather, so it's not going to become sticky and uncomfortable to wear. I like the fact all these straps use stainless steel spring bars, which are quick release. Therefore one doesn't need a spring bar tool to remove the strap from the watch, so it's very easy to change. So I'll show you the buckle and tang side. So with regards to the Dassari FKM Smooth strap, there are two keepers. One slides but one's fixed, and I'll show you a detail I really like about the FKM Smooth version. There are two notches either side of the keeper, and those notches keep the keeper in position. As you can see, it's not going to accidentally slide out of position, which is a nice feature. One keeper slides, but the other one is fixed. The buckle and tang is a nice heavy gauge of metal, solid stainless steel, brushed satin finish throughout, and I like the good heavy gauge of metal with the wide tang. It's going to be durable and last for a good length of time. So that's the FKM Smooth. So I'll show you the textured version in comparison. This is also made from fluorocarbon rubber, and I'll explain what the benefit is. Often watch straps are made from silicone rubber, which is very soft and supple and therefore comfortable, but the negative of silicone rubber is it is soft and therefore it easily splits and cracks, especially around the spring bar, which is an area that's prone to wear and tear. Fluorocarbon rubber is tougher and it is stiffer, so not quite as comfortable as silicone rubber, but the positive is that it is more durable. So it's really a compromise between resin and silicone. So you'll all be familiar with resin straps. They're widely used on Casio digital watches. They are incredibly durable, but of course uncomfortable due to being very stiff. So really, fluorocarbon rubber is the correct choice because it's more durable than silicone, but also comfortable like silicone, and it's not quite as durable as resin, but a good compromise. So with regards to the strap widths, as I've discussed, they're available in four different sizes: 18, 22, 20 and 24. This is the 20mm version, and I like the vintage tropic style formation to the underside. Again, this allows sweat and perspiration to wick away from the wrist, and it's also very comfortable. The tropic style was very practical because it's fully perforated, but it's also incredibly comfortable. It feels very smooth on the wrist despite the grid textured pattern, and on the top side it has a waffle pattern, and I like that diamond shape to the textured pattern on the top. Very aesthetically pleasing, but practical due to all the perforations. So this is a nice comfortable strap to wear in hot weather. Now, this is my personal favourite of the three different versions. This is the Dassari FKM rubber strap, and as you can see it also has two keepers and they both slide. They don't have the notches on this one. I like the rib along the centre section, it adds interest to it, and the underside is smooth, but they've also included this ridge section, and that allows an air gap, and it also keeps the strap up off the wrist, so that allows some air circulation underneath the strap, again to allow sweat to wick away from the wrist, sweat and perspiration in hot weather. And it's nice to have that air circulation, but it also is aesthetically pleasing because it pushes the strap up off the wrist. And I'll show you on my San Martin SN020G limited edition how that looks on wrist. It does actually look very nice. So it's a nice strap. It has a good taper from 6mm at the spring bar down to 2mm at the buckle and tang. Nice heavy gauge of metal to the stainless steel buckle and tang, and finished to a high standard. So I like the good gauge of metal because it's going to last for a good length of time. Nice wide tang to the buckle, and I like the two the keepers which slide. They're a good tight fit on the strap, so they're not easily going to slip out of position, which is very annoying. So I'll show you the white version. So it's got a nice ridge in the centre section, and I like the taper, the thicker reinforcement around the spring bar, which is an area which straps often split and crack. 6mm there, and it tapers down to 2mm at the buckle and tang end. Plenty of holes in the strap which allow for fine tuning the adjustment, and I'm pleased to report that this strap does indeed fit up to my 8-inch wrist, which is often a criticism I have of watch brands. The bracelets and straps are often a fraction too short. They're made to fit the majority of collectors with a 6 to 7-inch wrist, but as I have a large 8-inch wrist, often I find straps don't fit, but I'm pleased to report that this Dassari FKM rubber strap does fit. So I'll show you the one I've fitted to my own personal watch, which is my San Martin SN020G limited edition, as you'll have seen before. And I was pleasantly surprised because, as you can see, it easily fits my 8-inch wrist with no problem whatsoever. So if you have a larger 7 to 8-inch wrist, I highly recommend the Dassari FKM version you're looking at here. As you can see, it's very aesthetically pleasing. Love the smooth profile, but it does have that rib to add some interest. I can tell you it is incredibly comfortable to wear for long periods of time. I've worn this for 8 hours and I can tell you that it feels very comfortable. It's noticeable the lack of heft not wearing the piece on the bracelet. You become accustomed to the heft of a piece on a bracelet. Putting it on a rubber strap like this really does reduce the heft. The brushed satin finish to the buckle and tang is very aesthetically pleasing, and I like the two keepers, and as you can see there is plenty of length on this. This is on my 8-inch wrist and it fits me to perfection. Plenty of holes in the strap to fine tune it, and there are even 2 holes after the buckle and tang, so one could get this even larger, up to an 8.5-inch wrist. Incredibly comfortable, very aesthetically pleasing, and it completely changes the look of the piece from being more like a tool watch. It changes it to more like a field watch aesthetic or a military issued piece, and I like the navy blue colour which contrasts with the black dial. It does add interest, and I'll show you some of the other colours. This is the white version, which is very nice, and we've also got a red sample version here. So there are numerous colour versions, and one can also choose the style of buckle and tang. For example, they do rose gold, yellow gold, silver, which is brushed satin finish, stainless steel, and it's nice to have those options, and also black PVD coated if you prefer a black buckle and tang, depending on your own personal taste. And I'll show you the yellow version of the textured strap. Nice textured finish to the waffle style of the top, and then we have the classic vintage tropic style underside, which is very comfortable but also serves a purpose, as I've discussed. And lastly, I will show you the black smooth version. So this smooth version is also very aesthetically pleasing, similar length to the one I've got on wrist, and it has that grid formation. So it's personal taste. Some collectors prefer to have a textured grid formation in the underside to allow for air and obviously sweat and perspiration to wick away. I personally prefer this style of strap, which has a smooth underside. I like the smooth feeling of the rubber against the wrist because it does also have those ridges which do allow an air gap underneath the strap, and it also keeps the strap curved at all times and away from the wrist rather than sitting flat against it. So very well executed. As you can see, the quality of the fluorocarbon rubber is excellent, and yes, one could argue $34.99 US is more expensive. There are less expensive silicone rubber straps available on eBay, Amazon, and of course AliExpress. But with watch straps, it's definitely a case of one gets what one pays for. More expensive straps like this Dassari FKM, they are made from a higher quality material. Fluorocarbon rubber is significantly more expensive than silicone rubber and resin, which are the 2 other cost-cutting measures that often watch brands use. And that's why resin straps are used on Casio digital watches, because they are so inexpensive to mass produce. The resin is very cheap. Silicone rubber is of course inexpensive as well, and it's cheap to mass produce silicone rubber straps. Fluorocarbon rubber is significantly more expensive to produce, and therefore that's reflected in the higher retail price, but they are more durable. If you purchase one of these Dassari FKM rubber straps like this one, they are going to last a longer length of time than resin or silicone rubber straps, which are the alternatives. So very aesthetically pleasing, and I'm sure you'll agree it does complement the piece, and numerous colour options as I've discussed. So I hope you've liked my review of the Dassari FKM rubber straps. I'm going to highly recommend them to you for your consideration. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.